Good morning, beloveds. It is August 5th. It's Wednesday. Wednesday's kind of a weird day. It's like, I don't know why, but Wednesday's the one day that I always think it's a different day. I don't know what day I think it is. Usually I think it's Thursday. I don't know why. But it is Wednesday, August 5th. And we are tackling Science of Mind 365. Today, I exercise my God-given dominion. So this should be interesting. I have issues with the word dominion. I have issues with, in Genesis, where God gives dominion over, to Adam. And then I watch what we've done with that dominion, and I'm not real happy with it. So this should be interesting for me. Hopefully it will be as interesting for you as it is for me. All right, so let's see what Ernest has to say about dominion. There is a God power at the center of your being, a presence that knows neither lack nor limitation, fear nor sickness, disquiet nor imperfection. But because you are an individual, it is possible for you to build a wall of negative thought between yourself and this perfection. That wall, the wall that keeps you from the greater good, is built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear and unbelief, mixed in the mortar of negative experiences. Now you are to tear down this wall, to completely destroy it. The view that this wall obstructed is now seen in all its grandeur. The sun never really stops shining, and the river of life forever flows. The experience of all people is an attempt to merge their own being with this eternal river, not to the loss of their identity, but to the discovery of that self that has never wholly left its heaven. Say, I know that there is a presence and a perfect law irresistibly drawing into my experience everything that makes life happy and worthwhile. The good I receive is but the completion of a circle, the fulfillment of my desire for all. I have placed my reliance in the power, the presence, and the perfection of God. Therefore, I have dominion over all apparent evil. I repudiate all its claims, cast out every fear of or belief in that which is not good, and I exercise the dominion that by divine right belongs to me. All right. I exercise my God-given dominion. I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day. All right, so there is a God power at the center of your being. This is what Ernest Holmes teaches. There is a God power. You are made up of God's stuff. A presence that knows neither lack nor limitation, fear nor sickness, disquiet nor imperfection. That is the place that Jesse talks about, the place that nothing has ever been wrong, that place that we go when we're dealing with the messiness of life. I'm just going to call it the messiness of life for right now. But because you are an individual, we are an individuation of that divine spirit, it is possible for us to build a wall of negative thought between ourselves and this perfection. It's like we know it's there, but because of the noise of the world, the messiness of the world, sometimes we forget, and then it gets hard for us to see. And the longer that we have forgotten this perfection, the harder it is for us to see. That may be one of the reasons why there are so many Bible quotes about be as little children, see as little children, because they haven't forgotten the gloriousness of heaven because they're so close to it. they haven't engaged in the messiness and the noise of the world. And so they still see that perfection. They still see that perfection. And we don't. Because we've gotten caught up in this world. So we have built up this, as he says, that we've built a wall of negative thought between ourselves and this perfection. The wall that keeps you from the greater good is built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear, unbelief, and mixed with the mortar of negative experiences. I mean, you can't get any clearer than that. Tom?
What? What? No.
Call him.
What?
He called me. Call him. Okay, sorry. All right, the wall that keeps you from the greater good is built of mental blocks. And mental, up here. Cemented together by fear and unbelief, and mixed with the mortar of negative experience. So every negative experience that we've had, we have used that as a mortar to create this wall. And we're the only ones that can take it down. Which is what he proceeds to say. Now, you are to tear down this wall, to completely destroy it. He's not saying put a hole in it. He's not saying put a doorway in it. He's saying tear it down completely. The view that this wall obstructed is now seen in all of its grandeur. The sun never really stopped shining. When we are in the midst of the messiness and the noise of the world, we sometimes think, oh, the sun's gone down. No, the sun hasn't gone down. It may be on the other side of the world, but it hasn't gone down. We've just gotten so caught up in the messiness and the noise of the world that we've forgotten that the sun is shining. We've forgotten that God is there, that Spirit is there. And the river of life forever flows. We just stopped seeing it. We got distracted by the world, the material world. The experience of all people is an attempt to merge their own being with this eternal river. Not to the loss of their identity, but to the discovery of that self that has never wholly left its heaven. All right, that's a sentence. The experience of all people is an attempt to merge their own being with this eternal river. All right, that's what everybody is trying to do, whether they'll admit it or not. Everybody is trying to get into this river of life. But what he's reminding us here is that when we get into this river, it is not the river. It is not the river Lethe. We will not forget ourselves. But what we will do is remember the self that's never wholly left heaven. So a part of you still lives in heaven. That place that nothing is wrong. That's the part of you that is still in heaven. And that is what we are trying to, that's why we need to completely destroy that wall. Which he doesn't tell you how to do, but I would suspect that he's been telling you the whole time. Consciously recognize the Spirit around you. And how do you do that? That's meditation, that's prayer, that's conversations with people that remind you of heaven. People that remember who you are when you forget who you are. That's reading amazing books like this, or the Science of Mind textbook, or getting on to social media like this and listening to, I mean, at this point, almost all of the centers are online one way or another. If they're on Zoom or YouTube or, Facebook Live, go to their Facebook pages and there's all of this content out here. We may not have had it before, but we do now. And so those are ways that you can completely destroy this wall, because you can listen to the wisdom of people from anywhere. Because, I mean, we all had to go online. We're here. So, say, I know that there is a presence and a perfect law irresistibly drawing into my experience everything that makes life happy and worthwhile. The good I receive is but the completion of a circle, the fulfillment of my desire for all. So life is a circle. What you put out, you will get back. What you put into life is what you are going to get out. If you want love, put love in. If you want peace, put peace in. If you want joy, then put joy in. That's what you're going to get out. It is a completion of a circle. And that presence and that perfect law is drawing into my experience everything that I'm asking for. I have placed my reliance in the power, the presence, and the perfection of God. Therefore, I have dominion over all apparent evil. Apparent evil. Evil is not a power, it is an appearance. Evil has no power in and of itself, it only has the power that we give it. I repudiate all its claims, cast out every fear of or belief in that which is not good. That is very Emma. And I exercise the dominion that by divine right belongs to me. So he says I have dominion over all apparent evil, meaning that that is within my power to cast out. It is within my power to banish it by taking away my attention, by taking away my power, by focusing on what I want. Not what I don't want, but focusing on what I want. So, wow. Yeah, I love Ernest. So our mission, should we choose to accept it today, is to tear down that wall, to completely destroy it. And there are so many ways and so much help out there for you to do that. All right. I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, something kind for yourself, something compassionate for yourself, because that is one way to take a brick out of that wall, or multiple bricks out of that wall. All right. Open the windows of your soul and allow that breath of heaven to come in, because one breath will have you tearing that whole wall down. Do something that engages your mind and your body today, whatever it takes to make a fantastic day for you. And know that you are a beloved child of God in whom the Spirit is well pleased. And know that we are here. And we are creating this content for you. And when I say we, I mean everybody at Creative Life. And I mean all of the centers. Pretty much if you put Centers for Spiritual Living in a search, all of us will come up. You can go and listen to all of the amazing ministers out there, many of whom I had the pleasure of training under and training with. And so if you need it, you'll find it. So please do what it takes to take that wall down and see the glory of heaven that is within you. And Reverend David will be on with the Daily Guides around 5 today. I will be back at 9 a.m. And have a wonderful day, beloveds.